what you need to do. Yeah, you can do your zoom out and everything and look back and forth.
Okay.
Chair.
No, I just from the other side.
Because the
I
thing
think
that
I'll
limits
just leave
us.
it on that.
We want to zoom out when it comes in. Whatever they do, do that. Make it creative and fun with it.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Samuel Lauder Stanton, and I'm the president of the 2020 John Adams National Honor Society chapter. I would like to welcome you all to the celebration in which we will be inducting our new members NHS. Um, Welcome NHS 2021 inductees, fellow officers, parents, family, friends, and Mr. Seitz. We are happy and excited to kick off the 2021 Adams NHS chapter. And now I would like to invite our sponsor, Mrs. Stanton, to go up to the stage.
Hello and welcome. Before we get started, a couple of things. Things are a little bit different this year, as you all know. So we will not allow parents or friends to come up and take pictures because we want to try and keep everybody physically distanced. So we do have somebody taking pictures, and we will be sharing those pictures. So make sure that you stay in your seat unless you're coming up to get your certificate. And don't worry, we will be sharing those pictures with you. Also, just a reminder that we need to keep our masks on the entire time. And when we finish or there's any movement, just to make sure we keep that distance. So, to get started, I would like to congratulate the 69 junior inductees. Due to the current circumstances, not everybody is able to make it in person, but we will recognize those who are not here today at a later date individually. We're excited to start this new chapter. NHS is driven by 4 pillars: character, service, leadership, and scholarship. And all inductees reflected these pillars in their everyday life, and for this reason, we have invited them to be part of the 2021 National Honor Society. Now our 2020 and 2021 NHS officers will be presenting each pillar. I would like to invite Sam, who will present the pillar of leadership.
All right, good evening. Like I said, I am Samuel Blogger Stanton, soon to be former president of this chapter of the John Adams National Honor Society. A lot has changed since we were here this time last year. For one, my hair is a lot longer, but more importantly, our chapter of NHS faced the same global challenge that we all had to brace for: a pandemic. We've all gotten used to saying that word daily, sometimes forgetting the gravity of that word. Like the rest of the world, we had to make do and reinvent the course of our mission, having to go virtual like the rest of our school. As a group, our chapter changed this limitation into opportunity, pushing us to innovate how we can still act. Our class introduced Acts of Kindness, an initiative to motivate positivity under the constraints of our current circumstances. Beyond that, we still managed to bring joy during the holiday season, providing gifts for children at the Boys and Girls Club who would otherwise celebrate without new warm clothes or some of their favorite toys to get them through these rough times. We still managed to act on our mission, and I look to this next chapter to do the same. I'm excited to watch the transition and see how this new chapter leads. The great thing is, I've already seen this group at work leading in multiple ways, whether it be out loud and up front in mock trial, in drama club, sharpening their academics in science olympiad, or tutoring other students, or scoring the goal and crossing the finish line in a variety of JA sports. The point is, this class is varied and diverse in their leadership, and that's just what we need: voices to contribute, both reserved and outspoken. We need communication, a sense of unity in these understandably lonely times. On that note, I would simply like to thank the members of my chapter for their contributions to our community and their hard work. And I would especially like to thank my fellow officers for our frequent meetings, planning what we could do to make a change. To Mrs. San Verduzco, whom without her, this program would not be as strong as it is from her 9 years as a sponsor. She frequently reminds us of what it means to be a leader. I would also like to offer a warm welcome to the incoming chapter, that they may also work to innovate and find new ways to lead as we move forward. Lastly, thank you to everyone in attendance as we celebrate this transition. And with that, I would like to introduce your new John Adams National Honor Society President, Mr. Matthew Seiler.
Hello, my name is Matthew Seiler, and I'm the incoming NHS president. I was asked to speak about leadership, and I was thinking of ways to go about the topic of leadership and what it means to be a leader. So I thought to myself, what makes someone a good leader? What makes them stand out? And the answer is pretty complicated. There isn't a formula or set of instructions that you can follow to become more charismatic or change how other people see you. But there are certain aspects of leadership that are important for everyone to know about. Now, before I get too far ahead of myself, it's important to note that everyone watching, whether in person or online, is a leader. Taking on a commitment like this isn't something to scoff at. Sure, yeah, it looks good on a college application, but you still have to participate and you still have to do the service hours, so it evens out. So being a leader means you're confident in what you say, in what you do, and how you do it. It means being able to reach out to organizations when you're looking for volunteer hours, or being able to talk to adults when you're asked to. Being a leader means you're compassionate a trustworthy member of society whose flaws are no match for your kindness, a gentle smile, a kind word, anything to brighten someone's day. Compassionate leaders are able to trust in others as much as others trust in them. Finally, being a leader means you're organized. It means you don't turn things in late or apologize if you do. It means you're one step ahead of the game. Always in the know about a given week's schedule or the homework for any given class. Being an organized leader means others can trust you and can confide in you. That doesn't mean a leader has to be perfect. Nobody is. But it's a good start to identify where those three qualities fit into your life. It's weird to consider yourself a leader, isn't it? You know, you're not actually like leading anyone. But I can tell you with complete certainty that leading with confidence, leading with compassion, and leading with organization, and leading by example, is just as important as leading with your words. Thank you.
And now Matthew will light the pillar of leadership. Sometimes it takes a second. And now, I would like to invite Maggie, who will present the pillar of service.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to be talking about the pillar of service today. I think there's so much reward with service. We get to see the impact of helping others through smiles, conversations, hugs. Usually we can see that we are helping others have a better day and are making the chaotic world just a touch better. But this year, all of this happiness that can usually be seen on faces was masked in a cloud of mist. We could not do service directly and see those smiles or see our impact due to the mist of the pandemic. And I think that was a major frustration of NHS this year. That being said, we did manage to find alternative ways to serve the community. We created acts of kindness, such as getting groceries for elderly neighbors, making videos for school children, and writing letters to crucial workers such as hospital and delivery staff. We also wrote letters and created a video for a nursing home, sending them words of encouragement and love, as well as delivered gifts for the children at the Boys and Girls Club. The fact that we could not do in-person service and see the individuals who we were helping, though unfortunate, allowed us to become more creative and intelligent on how we can still help the community, no matter what the circumstances are. And I think there's a valid lesson to be learned from performing service in this situation. The reward of service is not all of what service is about. We can still help the community and make a difference even when we are not able to see the results of our actions. Unexpectedly, through the pandemic, we were given a chance to further our moral development by serving without expecting to see the results or happiness that typically helps to motivate us. This is often called altruism, selfless concern for others purely to help them and not for any personal gain or sense of reward. One last thing I would mention has to do with the acts of kindness that I try to do more regularly at home. I became closer to my siblings and helped them in ways I would not have reached out otherwise. Through this experience, I realized that in order to fully participate in service, our kindness is born and developed in our homes. My mom, of all people, actually found this quote by P.J. O'Rourke, and it went something like, "Everyone wants to save the earth, but no one wants to help mom do the dishes." And I was first like, okay, but then I really understood what it was saying. If we can't even help our mom do the dishes, how can we go out and do even bigger things for the world? I realized that we must first concern ourselves with the small things that we may not think matter in order to serve others and have a big impact on the world. And even with the circumstances of the pandemic, we can see that there are numerous positive outcomes to be grateful for, and more so, opportunities to learn and develop ourselves from. To the incoming NHS members, I hope that you may find joy in serving others and continue on even when you may not be able to see the reward of your efforts. I hope that you begin serving by offering acts of kindness to fellow students and your families, as this will lead you to a richer experience in your service to others. And service, at its simplest, as Eo puts it, a little consideration, a little thought for others makes all the difference. And now I would like to introduce the 2021 John Adams NHS Vice President Eric Dare.
Hello, I'm Eric Durr. I am the incoming NHS Vice President. Service. A lot of things may come to mind when thinking about what service is. Perhaps a trash cleanup in a park, helping distribute food at a food bank, or even volunteering time at an animal shelter. When I think of service, I think of helping those who need it in a meaningful way, or in other words, with a purpose. Service without a purpose isn't service, and completing service with a purpose is essential to being a well-rounded student, as it enables someone to help others in an impactful way while also providing a meaningful experience for that student. For me, service has come in the form of myself giving up my time to different causes, whether that be working at the polls to ensure that everyone's vote gets counted, or giving my time to help sell baked goods to help families affected by the loss of a loved one during the holiday season. Through these experiences, I've been able to meet other people and learn the importance of helping others who need it. Of course, this year, more than ever, there is a need for service. Nearly a year since lockdown began, it is impossible to ignore the impact the pandemic has had on us, on our education, on our mental health, but most importantly, the effect it has had on not only our community, but those throughout the country and around the world as well. That being said, service hasn't looked the same since then. There now has to be a balance of helping others and safety. This balance must be maintained in order to be able to provide service to our community, but also to keep us safe. And while this might be a challenge, looking around at my fellow inductees, I have no doubt that we will be able to find a way to maintain this balance and deliver meaningful service to our community. I believe that with the help of the current members of NHS, along with the collective pooling of our resources, our minds, and our ideas, we will be able to find solutions to problems we might face. Over the course of our time in NHS, I know that we will be able to find solutions to these issues, whether that be a fundraiser or an event, in a way that maintains this balance between meaningful service and safety. Now, I'll admit, this might be a big challenge for us to be able to find ways to do this. It might take more energy, more resources, and more time. But knowing the character of my fellow inductees, I know that we'll be able to make it work and incur meaningful service within our community. Thank you.
Now Eric is lighting the pillar of service.
And now I would like to invite Kelvin, who will present the
Pillar of scholarship.
Good afternoon. As Ms. Stanton stated, my name is Calvin, and I will be presenting you the Pillar of Scholarship. As you all may know, scholarship is something that we all take for granted and don't truly realize how impactful and important it is in all of our lives. Now, I know this year has been a huge change, and I could go on and on about the negatives and miseries that we have all experienced through this pandemic that is going on, but I'll talk about the positives. First of all, if you told me 10 years ago that we would be spending our time learning through a computer screen, I would have walked away and probably made a mental note to myself that you are crazy and to never talk to you again. But here we are making it all happen. A huge shout out to all the teachers and staff for making this possible. As students, we may feel that we're having the short end of the stick, but if you think about it, many teachers here have to adjust their teaching methods to online after doing things for years or even decades like Mr. Longman. My point here is that we should be very grateful for all the opportunities and experiences we have because of our school. I want to give a special shout out to all the teachers who don't require having your cameras on during Google Meets, especially those in the morning, because I am definitely not asleep lying in my bed as you are trying to teach me about the Maxwell Boltzmann distribution. I'm sorry, Mr. Kallenberg. But as you guys are becoming young adults and forming your true identities, be thankful for all the people and things that make it possible. Think of former teacher, friend, family member, dog, cat, or just anyone that has given you assistance or support through these rough times and pushed you to take full advantage of the learning opportunities we give here at Adams. NHS has reminded me constantly to strive for improvement and really push my limits to help myself and those around me. I can't tell you how many hours I spent tutoring a student in your class and the struggles I had to truly help this person out. But because of this experience, I've learned so much about myself and my true capabilities. This pandemic definitely has its downfalls, and life probably could have been a bit more enjoyable without it, but it has also taught me countless amounts of things like being flexible, having communication skills, managing my time because I have a lot of free time now being in my house 24/7, and just taking advantage of any opportunities possible. I hope NHS will benefit you and teach you many valuable lessons like it has for me, and I wish you the best in the future in helping the communities and yourself reach for that higher level. And now I would like to introduce the 2021 John Adams NHS Treasurer, Sam Nesho.
All right. First, I'd like to thank the senior officers for all the great work that they have done for our NHS chapter. They, along with our sponsor, were able to keep NHS alive and healthy during a very unhealthy time. We can look at the ways that they've innovated to continue to be successful, even during this pandemic. And although we have unusual circumstances for the beginning of our NHS experience, we can learn from the way the seniors were able to adapt to these conditions. I hope that our group can take what they have accomplished and build on them for even more success. Moving forward, one of the most important foundations for our continuation of their great work is scholarship. To me, scholarship is more than just having a high GPA. Scholarship is an attitude. It is learning for the sake of learning and pursuing more knowledge to have a better perspective on life. For example, most of the math that we are learning about now will never be applicable in our day-to-day lives, but it's the value of learning and working towards a goal that will help us, even as the details of the Pythagorean theorem may fade away. We can just go through our lives thinking about work or school as just a means to provide for ourselves. But there's a world where what we do every day can really mean something. Of course, school is going to suck sometimes, but it's the attitude to make the most of our situation that can really make a difference, not only in our lives, but in the lives of members of our community. I think that this attitude to make the most of what we have and working towards a common goal to help people around us will be a major part of our NHS success. We can help people just to look good for colleges, or we can put real effort into striving for change. Scholarship will be a big part of our success as an NHS chapter, and the values that we learn from our scholarship now will continue to help us as we grow into global citizens and continue to help our communities in the future. Thank you.
And now Sam is lighting the pillar of scholarship.
And now, I would like to invite Bridget, who will present the pillar of character.
Good evening and congratulations. I'm Bridget, and tonight I want to direct your attention to the pillar of character. I've often heard it said that an individual's character is not represented by their public actions, but rather by the way that they live when no one is there to watch. To put it more eloquently, Charles Caleb Colton once said that a true measure of character is what you do when nobody's watching. Although some variation of this quote has long occupied my classroom posters and Pinterest boards, I don't think that I've ever resonated with it as strongly as I do today. Considering the circumstances, quarantine, self-isolation, and all, I think it's safe to say that the past year has given many of us the opportunity to carry out our actions unobserved. And with this came a great challenge, a true test of our character. How did we act when our teachers and peers were no longer there to watch? Now, I don't want to stand up here and COVID this, COVID that, but I feel inappropriate to attempt to reflect on my journey within the John Adams National Honor Society chapter without acknowledging some of the tribulations that this past year has thrown our way. Despite a raging pandemic, national lockdown, and abbreviated school year, my fellow members have persevered and survived 2020. Withstanding the test of character, they have taught me what it means to act boldly and selflessly. Spreading acts of kindness throughout the community during a dreary time, I witnessed my peers sending cards to nursing homes and writing letters to elementary school students. And in a socially distant, self-isolating environment, who was there to impress? My colleagues made the effort to spread joy, to share love, and to do good when nobody was watching. And now, as I consider the past year, I could not be more proud. I can confidently say that I understand what Charles Caleb Colton meant. True character is opening up your Chromebook and joining a Google Meet to help plan an event simply because you want to. It's standing outside of polling sites in 90-degree heat to advocate for what you believe in. It's mowing your neighbor's lawns or contributing to a community garden for the sole purpose of helping others. This was not an ideal year or a traditional NHS experience by any means, but I think I will cherish it all the more because of that. I've learned and grown more than I ever thought possible when I stood on this stage and signed that book a year ago. And I owe it to my peers, who have taught me what it means to go forth with true and genuine character. Now, as we undergo this transition, I truly cannot wait to see what the 2021 chapter of NHS will do. Although I'm excited to watch you positively impact our community, I hope that you will remember what I said today. I want to close by thanking my fellow NHS members and wonderful sponsor for teaching me the true meaning of character. I have complete faith in the incoming members, and I can't wait to see what you do. With that, I'm pleased to introduce our incoming NHS Secretary, Lila Wilson.
Good evening. I am Lila Wilson, the incoming NHS Secretary. Character is arguably what makes us all human. The compassion, empathy, and ability to care for others separates us. This pillar is a part of National Honor Society because this quality is what makes everyone a part of something more than themselves. Without character, communities could not be built, families could not be created, and we would live for only selfishness. The difference with character as a pillar is that the others do not need to be present to be a good person. But with solely empathy, thinking of others as yourself, and therefore treating them the best way possible, simply out of the kindness of your heart, we create an environment for cooperation and peace. Before becoming an officer, or even a member of NHS, we all had to submit essays on one of the 4 pillars. As secretary, I was assigned character for this speech. But with the option of all the other pillars for my essay, I also chose character then too. In that essay, I talked about how much of an impact compassion and kindness has on others. Disregarding solipsism, the only thing we can be guaranteed about another person is that they have a heart, along with the fact that no one has a perfect life. By showing just a small bit of warmth towards others, how much could it improve their day? Imagine the world we would live in if everyone always showed empathy, was sympathetic to the lives of others when they were mere strangers. Actions are what are remembered most. A smile at a bad joke, a wave from across the hall, holding the door for your friends. These are the actions that directly impact our individual worlds. What amount of joy can someone experience in a day depends on both how they are treated and how they treat others. Compassion towards and compassion back, a symbiotic relationship benefiting everyone, because everyone can prosper for more joy, for more character.
Lila is lighting the pillar of character. Can we give them all a big round of applause? And now we will introduce our 2021 NHS members. NHS inductees will come receive their certificate and then walk over to take their picture. NHS 2020 representatives, Dorothy, Ellie, Vanchika, and Jonah, will call each member. So when you come up, when you hear your name, you're just going to come up this way. We're not doing the signing of the notebook and things like that this year. We had to modify things a little bit for this year. But you will pick up your certificate here from one of our 2020 officers and walk to that end of the stage to pause for a second and get your picture taken. Our representatives will call every member's name, whether they're present or not, but we'll take a small pause when the members are here to give them that time to walk across the stage before they move on. And with that, I will invite the 2020 representatives to come up.
Skylar Alexander. Eva Amstutz. Renee Bales. Sarah Barkley. Anna Borkowski. Christopher Buck. Christopher Castañeda Jaramillo. Paige Coleman. Shane Coleman. Grace Collins. Josephina Conway. Thomas Cummings. Eric Durr. Zachary Doctor. Ella Dopke. Cole Evans. Anakin Falcons. Kylie Freeman. Leah Goslin. Matea Grauber. Mariana Hydrusek. Rebecca Henderson. Catherine Hensel. Carla Hernandez. Dylan Haas. Genevieve Horvath. Sin Twin. James Jordan. Lillian Kahn. Emily Kidwell. Persephone Kilker. Bea Krakowski. Megan Kroll. Betsy Leah.
Leslie Martinez. Connor McKenna. Reed Matoyer. Ethan Newton. Samuel Mitchell. Nea Morales. Oliver Munn. Louisa Nakey. Samuel Nashel. Greta Neubauer. Joanna Neri. Isabella Nowicki. Sophia O'Brien. Leah Odell. Anne Okira. May Pitts.
Alyssa Cloud. Ivanka Lopez. Brooke Rohr. Janaya Sandoval. Claire Scheffler. Marissa Shelton. Amaya Schubert. Matthew Siler. Adrian Torianen. Marielle Utaidi. Emily Vera. Grace Vitale. Linda White. Nashawn Williams. Alexis Willow. Lila Wilson. Carson Wirtz. And Lacey Wisnowski.
Can we give them all a round of applause? Congratulations to all of the inductees. Now, I would like to introduce our 2021 NHS representatives, Chris, Katie, and Leslie. Anna unfortunately could not be here tonight.
Inside your program, you will find the NHS Induction Pledge. At this time, we ask all inductees to stand up and read along with us. I pledge to uphold the high purposes of the National Honor Society to which I have been selected. I will be true to the principles for which it stands and will maintain and encourage high standards of scholarship, service, leadership, and character.
So welcome. Now you're officially an NHS member. To finish, I would like the senior officers to stand up. And I would like us all to give them a big round of applause. As you heard in the speeches, this was not an easy year to be an NHS member. About a year ago, just a little bit over a year ago, we had our induction for this class. And we started off with things all normal, preparing for Night of the Arts. We had our committees, they were working really hard, and all of a sudden everything got shut down and we had to figure things out and still follow through on our commitment as an NHS chapter. And they did a fabulous job and it was really fun, even if we had to do it through Google Meet to have all of our meetings. And every once in a while, we met outside in the park, and it was nice to get that fresh air and check in and come up with different projects that didn't always work out, and then we had to come up with plan B, C, D, E, and so on. But we made it happen, and without them, there's no way that this year would have gone well. So if we could give them one last round of applause. And with that, we have ended our NHS induction. I am going to ask if parents and friends, if you guys could go out into the hallway and out to the cafeteria and wait for the NHS members. We always take a group picture, and we're still going to do that. But we're going to have our NHS juniors spread out, and we'll take a picture up from the stage so that we can still get everybody in the picture. We will be sharing those pictures with you this week. And thank you so much for coming, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.